Hello. Today is day 51 of the 75 day Spirit Baby Devotional, and I am Jezreel. I am the Spirit Baby Auntie. I am a sacred birth worker located in Atlanta, Georgia, the East Point, South Fulton area, Clayton County. I do service y'all as well. You can book a discovery call with me to see if we're a great fit. I'm just trying to tuck my hair in. See if we're a great fit. Talk about your birth, desires, your pregnancy plan. It's like an interview for the both of us. Also, in the description box below, I have a free ebook. It is called Held While You Bloom. It is for pregnant mamas or mothers in general that are looking for a reflective space, looking to slow down and be with themselves. And yeah, I wrote that just for you. And then lastly, I have the Spirit Baby Connect Facebook group. If you like to join our tribe, share your Spirit Baby journey, go ahead and click the link. We would love to have you over there. So today is Saturday. It is May 9th, and it's the day before Mother's Day. I was wondering what I was going to talk about today, or just like what the energy was truly. And in reflection on just my content creating journey, I was thinking of posting another video in regards to home birth versus hospital birth. That's come up a lot for me the last couple days, and just in general. And it's one of the videos on here that has the most views, so it lets me know that that's clearly a conversation that people want to have. And it also got me thinking about Mother's Day is tomorrow. And it's just, when I walked up the stairs just now, I was just like, ooh, I'm gonna talk about Mother's Day. And that felt like a no-brainer. But also the home birth versus hospital birth is feeling pretty prevalent. So I'm gonna pull some oracle cards and just see what the channel feels like. I went to a gardening workshop today for small spaces, and we discussed soil health. We discussed the home for the plants, the different ways of doing it, different type of crops, planting by the moon cycle. What else? We talked about so much stuff. It was over at OU Botanicals here in East Point, and Habiba, the host, wealth of knowledge. And then I also purchased her ebook. It is a very extensive ebook with all kinds of vocab words. I'm excited to continue my journey in gardening. I have a small backyard garden right now. We're growing some squash, cucumber, loofah, marigold, and some other wildflowers. I want to see what kind of pollinators come. Because I was thinking, like, me and my husband are talking about, he was like, what do you want to do for Mother's Day? What do you want for Mother's Day? And truly, I enjoyed my course today. I enjoyed just being in motherhood and him supporting my motherhood transition. Mother's Day has meant so many different things for me. There's no cards coming out right now as I shuffle. I think it's just because I'm channeling and just talking, just flowing in conversation with you all, with this energy itself. I woke up today thinking about Mother's Day, thinking about my mom, my relationship with my mom. I reflected on the relationship the mothers in my red thread have had with one another. just the ideology around this particular holiday. I have had so many different definitions of celebration for the holiday itself and what I wanted, what I felt like the holiday meant to me. I've had a lot of grief come up for me. Like motherhood for me and just healing my lineage is finding the joy in motherhood. And I feel like that's for both me and my husband's line. Finding the joy in motherhood, allowing motherhood to be full of love, full of romanticism, because it's not like that for either of our sides. Motherhood definitely is overshadowed by struggle. And I feel as though a lot of the mothers that came before me only gave themselves this particular holiday to celebrate themselves, or you know, it's like society's reminder of, oh yeah, if you buy her that bouquet of flowers, them cupcakes, and make her brunch, boom, you celebrated her for all that she does. And in my journey of existing today, I was with myself because I don't buy my mom gifts anymore, or I haven't bought her gifts in the last few years. And I was really sitting with that feeling, just because we've had such a hard relationship. And I was sitting with if I was being, you know, childish and those things. And the reality of it is it really about gifts? And it's not. I text my mom today, just, you know, being with the fact that even for her, Mother's Day is associated with a lot of grief. Whether she feels it or not. I don't know where I was going with that. I pulled the alchemy card, or the alchemy card came on out, and it's Queen Nefertiti. It's making me think about how there is no gift, because my local Publix shows out for holidays. There is no gift that I really think could be as valuable as mothers are. Like, there's no gift that could represent that. Or, I mean, yes, they honor it because intentionality is always what matters, but there's no bouquet of flowers that I feel as though truly celebrates and honors women for what it is that they do, especially for a society that doesn't really acknowledge the real alchemy that motherhood has on the soul. And I guess I want to talk about home birth in that, in the sense that I feel as though a woman who can birth at home can really be in her power. Now, that's not for every home birth, because I've also had conversations with women where it's like a mini hospital just at their house. They take the hospital and in their home, and they sometimes feel disempowered because of there still being the lack of honoring the woman as the leader, I suppose, in her power, I suppose. I think it's just the stigma to baby women when they're in labor, or to discredit women when they're in labor. And So if you're a mom celebrating Mother's Day and you were born via home birth or you've had a home birth, yeah, you. I've had the pleasure of attending one home birth, and it was so different than hospital births, like by far, so different. And I guess like home birth versus hospital birth, what is there to say to that? Truly, is that you're at home, like you're in your space, the space that you've been nesting and preparing with all your love that you exist in life, your pot. You know, I was talking about how in the class today we're talking about the different types of homes for plants. Like, you know, there's garden beds or pots, or just in the ground. And your house is like a flower pot. And it's the space that pours back onto you. It's all of your, you know, all the bacteria that you make in life, all of your doodads that comfort you at home, the pictures of your family, all of the smells of your being that you human in. You know, they say that homes have a natural smell. I have it right here. I have 43, which is the harvest card. And then I have 19, the shame card. It's making me think of just like, as a stay-at-home mom, I felt so much shame for not being a working woman. And I haven't felt empowered in my motherhood journey. And I also feel as though that there's a lot of fear that goes into people having home births, and there's also a lot of shame that people want people to feel. Now I have the 43, still harvest, and then self-sabotage. I'm just gonna stop shuffling. And really just be in those feelings. I'm definitely not gonna title this about home birth at all versus hospital birth, because it doesn't feel aligned anymore. It just feels like talking to motherhood itself. And yeah. So thank you for just sitting here with me. Because there's, you know, grief doesn't always just look like tears or crying. Sometimes it's just a moment of needing to pause. I think there's a lot of shame for stay-at-home moms that is needed to alchemize, needed to be alchemized, because for me, it's a blessing that I've been able to be a stay-at-home mom. I think that's one of the things I will lean into. Like, my husband was asking me about what I wanted for Mother's Day. And honestly, I'm just grateful to be at home. I'm grateful to have this paradigm, to know what the other paradigm is like, and to be in this space as person, as soul. I'm grateful to also be with all the different versions of me that has celebrated this holiday for 6 years, because I celebrated when I was pregnant too. Going on, 6 years. There were so many different versions of myself that was still just becoming, just being a new mom, doing something I had never seen before, stumbling, uh, looking for validation outside of myself was a big component to this journey too. And I'd say that has everything to do with the way I birthed. I birthed very disempoweredly, like I'm numb all the way up to my head. So there's a lot of mirroring that physical experience or that rite of passage experience has played out in my soul's journey of the act of mothering, because motherhood doesn't end or start at the in the hospital or in the birthing space. That's one of the rites of passages that motherhood takes you on. But peeing on a stick is a rite of passage. Counting your weeks is a rite of passage. Getting your anatomy scan and learning the gender of your baby is a rite of passage. Having your baby shower, a rite of passage. And birth is just the physical alchemic shift. You go from a pregnant woman, a woman that's growing, to a woman in her harvest. And I carried a lot of shame from my birth as a woman who birthed via cesarean, especially once I learned and did all the education that goes into mothering. I did all that after birth, and that made me feel shame and guilt and so many feelings, because I didn't have this natural physiological birth. I didn't go for it, truthfully. Yeah, I didn't go for it. I didn't know all that went into motherhood. I was in this lecture. I told you before, I'm in this journey called Chia Line. It is a conscious conception journey, and it takes you through all of yourself. And this week we're talking about the stories that we've told ourselves or have believed about ourselves. And this is where I'm probably going to end this at, because it feels like I've just been sitting here working through some thoughts. So I appreciate you for your ears. And stories that you've just been telling yourself and believing that you can't let go of. And one of them was that motherhood was a struggle. Motherhood happens to you. And this isn't like someone told me, motherhood happens to you, but it's what I saw. Motherhood takes from you. Motherhood changes you, and it's not a good thing. You need to hold on to what you always have been. Or even just evolving as a woman. Like, I remember it was my 26th birthday, and my mama, they was asking, how old do you turn? How old do you turn? Your mama was like, you 21? I'm like, no ma'am. I love how old I am. Like, I love that I age, because at 21, I wasn't pregnant. Well, I got pregnant after I was already 21 for a few months, and I gave birth at 22. No, I learned so much. I don't want to be younger. But I think that was after already integrating my maidenhood and integrating that my maidenhood was over. Being a young lady was finished. Well, being a young maiden was done. I'm in a different season. I'm in my mothering season. I'm reaping the seeds that I sow, uh, I'm watching a person grow. I'm nurturing their soul. I'm learning and stretching and doing all these things that made in me didn't need to be involved in. Made in me is gone. And I feel like that doesn't get acknowledged enough. Maybe just in our society of people. And that's okay, because we're revolutionizing, because there are people such as myself who acknowledge it. There is a version of woman that essentially dies. And she alchemizes the death of who she was, alchemizes all the experiences that were experienced as a youth, as a maiden, as a young, budding woman in her spring. And she lives in her life as woman, as mother. And I live in my life as mother now. And I think it's honorable. It's something so sacred to change. It's really sacred to evolve. It's sacred to be a woman and to celebrate yourself every single day, because the things that women do for the soul that they're destined to guide in this life is invaluable. Like I said in the beginning, there's no flowers, there's no candy, there's no food, there's no photo shoot that can, I guess, hold a candle to the gift that it is to be so alchemically powerful. Yeah. For motherhood, I just want to even fall deeper in love with myself for motherhood. For Mother's Day, I set the intention to fall even deeper in love with myself, even deeper in love with the journey, and to radiate that love outward continuously. I gift myself that. For Mother's Day, I gift myself that intention. The intention to love on other women and continue to voice the realness that is, two things being true at once. You can love your life and then also grieve the life before. Honestly, that's the biggest point of shadow work in pregnancy and in your conscious conception journey, because you do need to hold that space for release. Hold that space for letting yourself go, letting your youth go. Why? Because you grown as hell now. You the mama. And being the mama is a big role that's given to you by God. God allows you to be the mama, and it's a true gift. God gifts you his babies to guide in this human world. He sees how you have navigated this human life, this earth school, and he feels as though you will create the conditions in which my next baby will live in, be nourished in, and change the world within. And it's really powerful. So, yeah. Happy Mother's Day. And so much love. Like I said, if you're looking for a doula, my discovery call is in the description box below. Click that link. Let's hop on a call. Get your free ebook and join our Facebook community. You can find all of that below. All right.